Hello friends, welcome to tutoringcluster.com. This is the part number 3 of the series SSC JEE previous year question और हम फ्लूइड मैकेनिक्स एंड टर्बो मशीनरी के क्वेश्चंस जो SSC JEE में प्रीवियस ईयर में पूछे गए वो सॉल्व कर रहे हैं। तो ऑलरेडी मैंने क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 to 40 इसके 2 पार्ट ऑलरेडी अपलोड कर दिए हैं, ये इसका थर्ड पार्ट रहेगा। सो लेट अस डिस्कस question number 41. For a fluid at rest, the options are shear stress is 0, shear stress is 0 only on horizontal plane, shear stress is maximum on a plane inclined at 45 degree to the horizontal, shear stress depends upon the coefficient of viscosity. Okay, see here, the fluid is at rest, that means velocity will be 0. What we are having tau is equal to mu du upon dy. So if fluid is at rest, can we say u is equal to 0? So if u is equal to 0, so what we can write? Tau, that is shear stress, will be equal to 0. Okay, so what will be the correct option? Correct option will be A. Next, 42. The vertical distance of the center of pressure below the CG, center of gravity, of the inclined plane area is. So options are given to you. So this is the direct formula. The correct answer will be what? Option number A, ICG sin square theta upon A into x bar. Theta is what? Inclination of plane area. X bar is what? Distance. What is x bar? Distance of CG of the plane area from the free liquid surface. Okay, see, basically what formula we are having, हमें क्या पता है? x bar of CP is equal to ICG sin square theta upon A x bar plus x bar. So this formula we know. Okay, so basically what will be vertical distance of center of pressure below the CG? It will be x bar CP minus x bar. So what you will get? You will get ICG sin square theta upon A into x bar. Okay, so option number A will be correct. Next, so please remember this formula. It may be different values will be given to you and the numerical can be asked based on this. Next, question number 43. There is a rectangular tank of square cross section 2 meter by 2 meter and the height is 4 meter, is completely filled up with a liquid. The ratio of total hydrostatic force on any vertical wall to its bottom is. Okay, so let us first calculate total hydrostatic force on any vertical wall. Okay, what they have asked, the ratio of total hydrostatic force on any vertical wall to its bottom. Okay, see here how you will calculate a total hydrostatic force on any vertical wall. Let's say I am denoting that with FV. What is the formula? We know rho G H bar into A, that is the area of wall. This will be equal to rho G. What will be H bar? See, height is what? See, if this is a rectangular of, if this is the rectangular wall, what will be CG? Height is 4, so CG will be at a distance of 2. So H bar will be what? How much H bar? H bar will be 2. And what will be area? 2 into 4. Okay, this is the 2, this is the vertical face, so 2 into 4 will be area. Next, so this is a total hydrostatic force on any vertical wall. Now we have to calculate hydrostatic force at bottom. Okay, see here how you can calculate. Let's say hydrostatic force at bottom FB. Again formula will be same, rho g h bar into AB. So rho into g. Now what will be h bar here? Okay, it's a bottom face. Okay, so h bar will be how much? It will be 4 into what will be area? Area will be what? 2 into 2. 2 into 2. Okay, so now we have to take only the ratio of this. So you have to calculate FV upon FB. This will be equal to rho G 2 into 8 divided by rho G 4 into 4. So what you will get? You will get 1. Okay, so correct answer will be C. Okay, is it clear? So you have to calculate here total hydrostatic force on vertical wall to its bottom. So difference is how to calculate a CG of the bottom. Okay, and area. This is area of wall. Okay, this is what? Area of wall, and AB is what? Area of its bottom. Okay, so at bottom it's a square cross section. Basically it's a rectangular tank. See here, it's a rectangular tank which is having a square cross section. Okay, so this is square cross section. This is 4 and this is what? 2 by 2. Okay, next. Question number 44. When a vertical wall is subjected to a pressure due to liquid on both sides, the resultant pressure is the dash dash of the two. Okay, so basically when vertical wall is subjected to pressure due to liquid on both sides, the resultant pressure is what? It's a difference. It's a difference of 2. Why difference? Because that two pressure forces, they are going to oppose each other. They are going to oppose each other. Okay, next. Question number 45. If W is the specific weight of the liquid and H is the depth of any point from the surface, the pressure intensity at that point will be. See, what is the formula to calculate pressure? Rho G H. And what is rho into G? It is W into H. So correct answer will be C. Next. A piece of metal of specific gravity 7 floats in a mercury of specific gravity 13.6. What fraction of its volume is under mercury? Okay, see here. There is a piece of metal of specific gravity. So there is mercury. Okay, and there is a piece of metal. This piece of metal specific gravity is 7 and this mercury its specific gravity is 13.6. So basically there will be weight which will be acting in downward direction, and this will be balanced by what? Buoyant force. Okay, so weight of metal block, it will be balanced by what? Buoyant force. Okay, you can denote buoyant force as FB. Okay, how you can calculate weight of metal? See here, density of metal. See, weight is what? What is weight? Weight is equal to m into g. And what is mass? See, density is what? Density is equal to mass upon volume. So what will be mass? Rho into v into g. So density of metal into v into g, which is equal to buoyant force. How you can calculate buoyant force? Rho of hg into volume into g. Okay. Next. So specific gravity of 7. So what will be density? 7 into 1000 into volume, we don't know, g. Okay, you can cancel out g. Okay, I am cancelling out g, which is equal to rho of mercury 13.6 into 1000 into Vf. Okay, therefore Vf is equal to, what will be Vf? Vf is equal to, see here, what things will be cancelled out? This 1000 and 1000, it will get cancelled out. So Vf is equal to what? 7 upon 13.6 into V. So what is 7 upon 13.6? If you calculate, it is 0.515 V. Okay, so what will be correct answer? C. Is it clear? So very nice example, and it's an important one. Next, 47. The center of gravity of the volume of liquid displaced by an immersed body is called as, it is called as what? Center of buoyancy. Center of buoyancy. Next, 48. The metacentric height is the distance between, see how metacentric height is given. Metacentric height gm is equal to, what is formula? Bm minus bg. Is it right? See, suppose you are having here water, okay, and let's say you are having here a block. Okay, so you will be having a G here. Okay, then sorry, it will be what? Metacentric. Okay, you will be having here metacenter, and here you are having a buoyancy, center of buoyancy. So gm is equal to what? Bm minus, okay, you can draw here a vertical line. Okay, so this 3 point you should know. So what will be gm? Gm is equal to what? Bm minus bg. Okay, so basically this is what? Stable equilibrium. This is for what? Stable equilibrium. So what is a metacentric height? It will be a distance between metacenter and center of gravity. Okay, next. A liquid which is moving with constant angular momentum has a tangential velocity of 1.2 meter per second, 3 meter from the axis of rotation. The tangential velocity at 1.5 meter from the axis of rotation in meter per second is. Okay, so angular momentum, okay, it's a what? Constant. Angular momentum is constant. What is formula to calculate angular momentum? mvr is what? Constant. So can we write Vr is equal to constant? So can we write velocity is inversely proportional to distance r. Okay, therefore what we can write? We can write v1 upon v2. v1 upon v2, it is in inverse proportion, so it will be r2 upon r1. Okay, so 1.2 upon v2, which is equal to 1.5 divided by 3. So what will be v2 from this? So what will be v2? v2 will be okay, see here, so this will be what? 0.5 vt. It will be what? How much? It will be 2.4. It will be 2.4 meter per second. So I think option is not there. Okay, but the correct answer will be what? 2.4. Okay, is it right? 2.4? Yes. So I think option is not there. Okay, fine. Next, question number 50. The flow of water in wash basin through a central opening is an example of. It's an example of what? Free vortex. It's an example of what? Free vortex. Next, equation of continuity of flow is based on the principle of conservation of mass, force, momentum, energy. So basically continuity equation, it is what? Principle of conservation of mass. Next, equation of continuity holds good when the flow is steady, one dimensional, yes, velocity is uniform at all section, yes. So all of the above. Next, an ideal flow of any fluid must fulfill the following: Newton's law of motion, Newton's law of viscosity, Pascal's law, continuity equation. I think this is repetitive, we have seen in our previous part also. Ideal fluid, it should satisfy continuity, it should satisfy what? Continuity equation. Okay. Next, flow between any two streamline remains the same, increases along its path, decreases along its path, is always 0. So basically if there are two streamline, the flow it will remain same. Okay, flow between any two streamline is always same. Why same? Because mass content between the two streamline, it will be same. Okay, mass it will remain same, that's why flow will remain same. Next, a streamline body is such that it produces no track for flow around it. It is symmetrical about the axis along the free stream. Separation of flow is avoided. The shape of the body coincides with stream surface. So a streamline body means what? The shape of the body, it should coincide with stream surface. The correct answer will be option number D. Next, Navier-Stokes equation are associated with. So Navier-Stokes equation, we know they are associated with flow, viscous flow. Okay, so basically it's an incompressible flow. It's a incompressible viscous flow, and the flow is what? It is for laminar flow. Okay, remember this 3 point: incompressible, viscous flow, laminar flow. Next, the path traced by a single particle of smoke issuing from the burning wooden stick is a flow line, streamline, streak line, path line. So basically it is what? It's a path line. Okay, let's say you are having wooden stick, okay, and this will be the fumes. So basically path traced by a particle, it's a what? It's a path line. This is what? Path line. Next, a fluid is said to be ideal if it is Okay, so basically ideal fluid, it should be non-viscous and incompressible. Okay, so correct answer will be D, non-viscous or inviscous and incompressible. Next, the continuity equation of a compressible fluid. So this we have already seen. Okay, m dot in is equal to m dot out, and m dot in is what? Rho AV. So correct answer will be what? C. Next, last question of this part. An ideal flow of any fluid must fulfill the following. So ideal fluid, we know it should follow, or the fluid must fulfill what? Continuity equation. Okay, so hope you have understood the question number 41 to question number 16. So I have also given the explanations wherever it is necessary, and hope you are finding this series helpful. Please do share with your friends so that they will also get benefited with this, and we will solve the question number 61 onwards in the next part. Till then, thank you.